What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. Before I start this video, I would like to say I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Meta Materials Inc. We're going to break down the TA, we're going to look at the options chain, we're going to look at Ortex, Fintel, and I'm going to give you my prediction. I'm not going to go over a whole lot more than that today, well, mainly because there wasn't a whole lot more to go over. So let's go ahead and break this down. So today we opened up at $4.78, which was a super strong open from the previous day's close. We hit a low of $4.77, which was immediately. And then we hit a high of $5.40, which was the tail end of the day, right back here, okay? And then we closed the day out at $5.37. Now, I did call out a bull prediction yesterday, and it basically followed it. In fact, it would have ended at that 520 mark right there in that 520 range if it wasn't for this beautiful, beautiful green candle leading us into this awesome aftermarket. Now, a lot of you already know, I did do a live session for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes roughly, covering the tail end of the aftermarket's run up. Now, I always say take aftermarket and pre-market with a grain of salt. However, who can ignore this? An additional 10% on the day. So, speaking of which, we did finish up 16% on the day, and again, adding 10% after that. But we don't know what's going to happen. That could change, of course, in the pre-market. And we also had about 44.5 million in volume. 56% of our volume today was traded in dark pools, which you can see the little graph down here at the bottom of the screen. And ultimately, there was really no news today. So all of this trading happened on basically no news. Now, I do want to say this. There's a couple of thanks I want to send out. First and foremost, I want to send a thanks out to Ehor, okay? I did a little bit of on my video last night about him, but I did note that I did like what he said about MMAT. I'm glad to know that he's very bullish on it. It's nice to have an analyst on our side. And because he did throw out MMAT last night, that's a very good chance that a lot of people drug themselves to MMAT, because they heard a top analyst say something about it. Also, we've got Matt Kors following this. So you're going to have a huge ape community starting to pour into this and helping bring this stock up. It's also going to help engage any covering of shorts before the stock gets a little bit too expensive. Even though when that happens, we all know what goes on. So I'm just trying to read real quick. I did a live video, so I'm just trying to get caught up. Sterling has a video out. It is covering that Oilco thing that's going on with George. Basically, it looks to me so far from what I've seen, a way to do the divvy, maybe, possibly. I don't know for sure yet. I'm definitely going to be digging into that. But of course, go check out Sterling's video from about 12 hours ago. I'm going to link that in the end of my video that you can go watch that he covered the Oilco stuff first thing this morning. Options chain. Oh, wait, before we go to the options chain, let's look at our 5-minute chart. Boom. It's technically the 1-hour chart. So if you were to pull up a chart of Meta, put it in the 1-hour format and zoom way out, look what you got. Cup and full-on handle, baby. Today created the handle between the pre-market and the regular market and the aftermarket hours. You've got a full-on cup and handle on the macroscopic scale. That's making me very, very bullish for tomorrow, okay? Let's move on to the options chain. So, in the options chain, we had 85% calls, 15% puts. Calls at 65,000, puts at 8,000. IV is at a nice low 195%, 196. And now, I know that's not ridiculously low, but after you just ran up 16% during the day, after having run up after run up after run up with barely any cool-offs, 200% IV is pretty dang good to me. I think it looks fantastic. let's move on to Ortex. All right, so Ortex utilization's at 94.75%. I cover all of this on my morning briefings. If you'd like to be a part of my morning briefings, just find me on Twitter, find me on StockTwits. I try to update StockTwits every day, but I do Twitter every single day just because it's an easier platform to do it on. Utilization is 94.75%. Cost to borrow is currently 3% of each share, and the days to cover is currently at 1 day 0.07. Shares on loan is just under 30 million, and the free float on loan is at 12.38%, and we're roughly 9% estimated short interest. And according to Ortex, the average number of days on loan is 18 days on loan, right there. Sorry. Yeah. And that's what we've got for Ortex. Also, you'll notice that we did go up a little bit today. Shorts haven't covered. This wasn't shorts covering as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm sure, don't get me wrong, there were coverage of shorts. You just saw an extreme amount of movement. But remember, they are still in the green, the vast majority of them. They've been shorting this thing for a long time. All right, so what you're seeing down here with this cost to borrow, or I'm sorry, days on loan, is showing that they haven't given up. Yes, it came down a little bit. Some of the maybe shorter term positions or way out positions may have started covering. But it's not all of them. No worries. Fintel, again, we know this is our short interest, about a half a day to cover according to them. I'm going to go with the other one. I'm going to go with Ortex on this one right now. We did go up with the short squeeze score. We're at 83.5% of all the stocks that they look at. And we have just under 1 million shares available. So there you go. It shows that they did return a bunch of shares today. So there was some coverage. And Ortex does show that as well. It shows they borrowed 6 million, they returned 6 million. Again, we've talked about this. It doesn't necessarily mean they were shorted shares, but when you ran up 16%, you better believe there's going to be some shorted shares covered. This does not include any of the Torch shorts. Making that perfectly clear, those still exist. Those won't be covered on anything we're doing right now. Look for the divvy for Torch shorts to be covered. That's my opinion. I'd be looking towards that time frame. All right, so let's go back to Fintel. Scroll down here. Our current short borrow fee rate's at hovering right at that 2.14% line. And here is our volume for today already. FINRA volume makes up of half of the total volume. We're at 23,500,000. And there was about 8 million in short volume through the FINRA. Come over here in total, and we're tracking right now in the 30s. Now, let's see if this number and the dark pool number is the same. Or not the same, I'm sorry, if they correlate. Gotta go to stats. Dark pool. So 24,400 there. Okay. Let's go back over here. Not that one. 23,000. Wait. 23 and 24. Isn't that 47? And then if you add a half and a half, that's 48. But according to this guy over here, we only had 44. Where'd all them shares go? I don't know. All right. I think I made that point perfectly clear. Here's our short sale transactions. Remember, these are transactions that are $5,000 or more. They must be greater than $5,000 for them to show up on this list. Right there is proof in the pudding, $5,082. Okay. We got to go to our chart. Right there. There's our chart. They only shorted about $1 million today, or I'm sorry, yesterday. And there you go. That's all the shares they did for 94 transactions. You'll notice that the numbers have come down a little bit from when it was up here at $13 million. Now, I would expect to see a number similar to that today. For today, I should say. All right, so it's getting pretty late. Obviously, I'm getting tired. We're at about 10 minutes in this video, which is a really, really short video for me, and I'm going to wrap it up right here with the exception of my prediction. So, here we go. Let's come back over here. Let's go to our chart. Let's go to the 5 minutes. All right, so We need our lines. Boom, there they are. Now you'll notice I don't have a whole lot of lines up here. We're going to actually create them together right now. Let's go there. Horizontal line at, we're going to call it 625. We're just going to go into constant drawing mode. 650 right there. 675. We're going to definitely mark our quarters because I think those are going to be definite technical levels of resistance. But I also want to look at 610. 635 and 665, and then of course 7. Alright, so here's what I see for tomorrow. We're going to knock the bear prediction out of the way first and foremost, just because it seems to be the best way to go. Alright, if we happen to go bear, first and foremost, let's bring us down to the 350 range at least, okay? Let's get ourselves at least closer to our close. So if we go bear, I see us being at the 350 point and coming immediately down, testing $5.30. If we break through that, you're going to look at 520 and 510, and then of course ultimately $5, hopefully being our stopping point on the bear prediction for the day. If not, of course, 480 would be your next level. And then if it does hit the 5 range, or really any of these range, expect for a bounce and expect for consolidation up in the 520 to 530 range. If we're bear, that's where I would see us hovering with a possible retracement back up towards the 550 range. Now, if we go full bull, which I'm pretty dang confident we're going to, I would actually see us mounting closer to where we're at right now in the 580 range. We start at 580. We're going to immediately test 6, bounce off it. 6 is going to be a big, big level of resistance. The shorts are looking at it, and they don't want it to go over that because they know what's going to happen. If this breaks through 6 after a test or 2, expect for it to start going a little nutsy. You might see a small bounce off of 610. That could just be a rejection from 6. But 625 would be, I would think, next. 635 after that. 650, 665, 675, and then 7. Beyond 7, I see 10 coming up very, very fast. We'll run through 8, only hitting the quarters and the 50s. And we'll probably jog through 9 pretty good as well. Consider there's not a whole lot of resistance. It was just a lot of downward movement. So that's what I've got for today. That caps off the video. If you like what I said in the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you didn't, let me know in the comments below. I read all of my comments. I try to respond to most of them. Oh, one last thing. Always look at your RSI when looking at your macro perspective. It'll give you a really good gauge of what's going on. And right now, we are hooking up at the end of the day. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Peace.